When I want to learn, I learn the crap out of it. And I learned the crap out of it. I'm trying to convey that knowledge to you to empower you. Because the more empowered people there are, and talk to people in influence. If I can, I want to influence the influencers. That's what I want to do. I don't need a large audience, but I need a couple of people to get the word out in a more coherent, more concise, more succinct fashion than myself, because I'm not a very good speaker. Okay, it's tough. Try doing a monologue yourself sometimes. It's not always easy. There's a lot of prayer involved. I'm always thinking, God, give me the next word, because I don't know. Sometimes I'm just so tired of seeing things unfold. This bandage being pulled off. I just so want things to just hit the fan. But things are going to unfold. I've got to remind myself to calm down, be patient, turn to the Lord in prayer. I need Him. I'm going to need Him more and more and more for the rest of all eternity. That's okay. But He sees it too. Okay, and He's going to put His foot down. But I'm tired. I'm tired. The downtrodden need relief. Not even me. I'm doing fine. On a relative scale, I'm living like a king compared to some man or woman, better man and woman than me out there suffering needlessly and dying. How do I know they're not? How do you know they're not? They may well be. And God's watching. That money you're spending frivolously, that's bringing joy to your heart, smile to your face. You keep bragging rights. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the new car I drive. Look at the house I just bought. Look at this vacation I'm on. Look at me. I'm somebody. I'm successful as defined by the world. God help us, friends. And it's going to take God's help, and we're getting it. We're getting it. But you know what? If you want to, if you want God's wrath to be removed, and the wrath is the way it's manifested is lifting His hand of protection. This COVID and all this crap. I mean, this probably was. I've heard some people bandy this idea around that, maybe it was just to get Trump out of office. That's the kind of stuff that these evil geniuses are into. Yes, they hated Trump. He didn't fit in into the status quo establishmentarian thinking. He wasn't of their ilk. He wasn't part of the political priesthood. So yeah, would they do that? Of course they would. And these are the depopulationists. These are the ones that wrote the Georgia Guidestones. These are the ones spraying your skies, but the weather guys, they won't mention it. It's all there. You can do your own research about chemtrailing, geoengineering, weather modification, experimentation, and all this. Well, you spray these aluminum particles. They talk about it. The theory is it reflects the sunlight back on itself and keeps the earth cooler, when really the science is showing it's like a blanket, and it actually is warming up the earth. So global warming is man-made. They're making it, and they're fingering you and I because you heat and cool your house. You drive a car. You might want to take a trip. So it's your fault. You understand? So they want to get the earth down to 500 million from the current 8 billion, which is, they want 1/16 of the earth left. They of course, they got to be there because these are the saviors. They're sick. Like I said, I mean, what can I say? What pejorative terms are strong enough to use for these people? Evil. I mean, it just comes down to evil. What is evil? Demonic. And we all have a inclination, a propensity. We all struggle with our demons. So this can happen to anybody. Anybody can say, I just don't care. Ignorance is bliss. It's too stressful. I can't deal with you. You're crazy. I mean, but I'm not. I point out how the Federal Labor Department, who's supposed to be looking after the interests of the federal minimum wage workers, how they've been obviously deliberately remiss. I mean, it'd be a simple. Every year they come out and they want to do a press conference. They say, "I'm sorry, employers, but we're going to have to increase wages," and the employers should get pissy and say, "What the hell do you mean? Why are my labor dollars worth less? I want some answers here. I want an explanation. Where's the progress? Where's supply and demand? Why isn't the cost of living going down? I don't want to pay my workers more." So the rubber would have met the road there. You see, it would have acted like a very powerful, very effective check and balance, oversight, to ensure that your money kept going up in worth, however gradual, and if there were slight dips periodically because there was a genuine disruption in the supply chain. That's the only time your money is temporarily supposed to go down in worth a little bit. according to the law of supply and demand and true capitalism. Other than that, it's on a steady trajectory of just keeps going up in worth. But you can see the evildoers know. I want you to know where that leads. You understand? It leads to freedom. You see, it leads to them being irrelevant. We don't need them when we're all financially free, and we're so financially secure, so financially free that we just understand that money means very little to us. The system doesn't break down. In fact, there's a huge superfluity, a huge abundance, a huge excess of everything that we want and need, including Rolex watches and yachts and jets and whatever else you want to use. It's all usership. You got to be delusional to believe in ownership. That's stupid when you know from a very young age you're going to die. So you know that you're just using the earth. You're just using stuff. You understand? But that's how the mainstream media work. They got us deluded. So ultimately they think they're smarter because they're making a living wage and they can live a middle class life. They're satiated. They'll spew out the lies all day. Maybe they are just stupid. Maybe they don't know the truth. They call themselves journalists. It's supposed to be these scholars, these educated, intellectual type people, right? Educators, the cutting edge educators, the mainstream media. And look how they've dropped the ball on it. They're like celebrity status. What do they get when they get this syndicated national news? How much they make? Multi-million dollar salaries, right? Is there a shortage of these people? I mean, there's no more shortage of these people than there is minimum wage workers out there. No. You see, it's all fraudulent. Your entire reality has been shoved down your throat from birth by evil men. That's it. So there's a huge departure between the way it's going to be in the world of tomorrow, the one that God establishes here on earth, okay, and the one that we're living through now. And they know it. They know that they're at the end of the line. They know the last few grains run out, and thank God for that. So young people, take some heart, take some solace, take some comfort, take some encouragement in that knowledge. You're lucky about that you're at the end game. You're not like me having to watch that bandage being pulled off my whole life. I mean, they'll start wars for distractions. This is what they'll do. They're evil. Remember, they don't care about depopulating the earth. They want to, because under the guise of saving the planet. But we're not going to talk about disruptive technology in that conversation either. You say disruptive, what is that? Well, it's clean, perpetual energy that's free, basically, and that's it. End of story. Yeah, but that interrupts their profits. It's disruptive to their profits right now. So they can't talk about these. They can't educate you about this. They can't empower the masses about this. And the last thing they want us is us unified, to figure out that it's all a lie from the pit of hell to say that human beings cannot learn to live together in peace and harmony, safety, security, freedom, and prosperity universally for everybody across the board. That's it. We're equally beloved children. It's God's planet. God is like the best set of parents ever, and God would tell us what a little kid could say, yes, that makes sense. What is logical and simple to understand. Share it. Treat one another as you want to be treated. Nothing less. Treat them better than that. Treat them like your own kids. Okay? Do that, and you will find happiness. Don't do that, and you will never find happiness. And we're all stuck together physically on this ship of fools. The only way the righteous can jump off is in their heart and minds and say, I'm ready, God. If you say it's got to be a world without any form of money, so be it. Ready my heart and mind for that. Show me how it could be. Help me to help others to understand how that can be and how this end of the age is upon us and what it's going to look like in the age of tomorrow for the survivors, because it's going to get hot in the kitchen. And if you try to fight against God's will, you're going down. You become his enemy. Whoever is not against us is for us. But if you're against that state of affairs, then you become God's enemy, by extension, the enemy of righteous men. I was thinking about titling this video series today, either An Echelon of Evil Genius or Why America is the Apple of Satan's Eye. So I hope I've explained how the mainstream media and the Federal Labor Department supposed to be looking after the interests of the federal minimum wage workers and keeping this country cohesive, having a unified federal minimum wage, how they've been extremely culpable in the destruction of America, bringing us to our knees, working against the interests of the average American citizen at large. Just regular, everyday American people. You and I, and your brothers and sisters, and family and friends and strangers. Okay? They've destroyed this nation through subterfuge.